We come now to our last nominator and nominee, who is one and the same person. So for either bravery or utter foolhardiness, I think we should have, can you please come and take the...
Come on,
Alison White. And here she is. She's a bit different. Right, you ready? You're on the zone.
Yeah, so this feels slightly strange this evening because everybody else has nominated other people and I, with my massive pair of Scottish balls, have nominated myself. So that was me about 12 months ago when I had the sheer bloody mindedness of setting up my own field agency in a recession. So first of all, I'd quite like to say that I did not nominate myself because I thought I was any more brave or any more courageous or any more deserving than anybody else in the industry. The main reason that I actually nominated myself is because I wanted the opportunity to thank everyone that I've met in the industry since I've moved down to England that's helped me, like Fiona and Ray, who calls me Scamp, like I'm one of his children. So the reason that I'm standing here today is because I started my research career in 1997, 1998. I was 19 years old. I set up my first research company when I was 19 in the slums of Glasgow, stepping over junkies in the back closes of the high-rises and the Gorbals, being set upon by Dobermans, being flashed at by little old men in the street, being locked in people's houses and being threatened with my life. And I loved it. I loved every single minute of it. And that's when I realised that the research industry was the place that I wanted to be. So I gave up my career as a classical opera singer. Some of you may have seen me singing at random conferences around the world just because I like doing it and just because I like having a microphone in my hand. So I set up Fieldwork Services UK. Oh my god, the name pains me now. I set up Fieldwork Services when I was 19 and I had a small work from home agency in Scotland. I ran it very successfully from home for 5 years. And then I realised that I was naive and very complacent, and I had my business taken away from me at the age of 25 because I didn't have any contingency plans in place for if one of my staff screwed me over. So I was left with no contracts, no job, no money, a roof to pay for, a sports car to pay for. So I decided I had to get jobs, and being my only reference, because I'd only ever worked for myself, I was a cleaner and a shop fitter and a nanny and a nurse, not a nurse, a delivery driver, and I worked 18 hours a day for a year, 7 days a week. I'd had enough, working my fingers to the bone to pay for a lifestyle that I'd become accustomed to. So I decided to jump over Hadrian's Wall and do one. And I landed in Yorkshire. I landed at Zebra Square and Clearstream Research, where I met Fiona and the Mesh, lovely bunch, worked on a few projects and worked my way up and kind of wormed my way into the industry with my nonsense and my banter. And then I decided that I wanted to set up a field agency that nobody could ever take away from me. I'd worked hard when I was younger, but I was naive and I was young. So now, 18 months ago, I set up Facefacts Research with the view to setting up the most fun, friendly, compassionate, competitive, you know, all those fantastic words, field agency that England had ever seen, and I did it 18 months ago. And then in October, someone decided to break into my office and take absolutely everything that I'd ever worked for, stole the lot. So in my fashion, I dusted myself off and got on with it, and we bought some new stuff and we got an insurance claim and it was all fine, and then won some more clients, and then in December, someone else decided to break into the office and burn the thing down. So in December we were officeless, we were homeless, we packed up our stuff and we trundled off to my house, and they worked on my bed and in my kitchen and in my living room, and we won some more clients at the same time. And And yeah, that's where we are today. So we've built ourselves back up. I don't give a shit what anyone does to me. 3 times somebody's tried to take my business away from me, and I will never, ever let that happen again. When I told a colleague in the industry that I was up for a bravery award, first of all they laughed, they went, only you. But second, they sent me a quote of an ex-US president, which I think was quite fitting. Nothing in the world can take place with persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. I had to learn how to say that word earlier. Omnipotent, she says. The slogan "Press On" has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. So from hearing earlier about Ginny's persistence in the industry, her kind of audacity, her bloody-mindedness, she didn't give a damn, and neither do I. No matter how many times someone tries to knock me down, or you down, or somebody else, you just got to stand back up. Have the balls, like you, Betty. So just get on with it. Nice. You didn't need to do that. So, I'd like to thank all my peers and my friends and my colleagues in the industry for helping me, even though they had no idea where I came from and why I was here and what the hell I was trying to do in this industry. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, I liked this application. I've never met Alison, never heard of her companies before, and this was my favourite application. Not only because she was the only person that had the balls to nominate herself. So Dr. Simon Liddington thought he was being quite ballsy there by nominating his daughter, and he got shown up. But because it goes back to what I said was the definition of bravery for me, which is perseverance. And when you read the story, it is just somebody that's getting knocked down time and time again, and getting up and going after it again. And I think there's not a lot else for me to say, because I think just from what Alison said, and I met her for the first time earlier this evening, just from what she said and how she said it, you can tell she's one hell of a brave person. And with some of the words, if you look up bravery in the dictionary, things like spirit, mettle, heart, fortitude, boldness, are all words that are just completely applicable to Alison. So for me it was an absolute no-brainer, and congratulations for all you've been through, and I'm sure you'll be a massive success in the future as well.